All right, beautiful people. Let's go ahead and get comments pulled up. Good morning. Good morning. You guys have been loving the morning streams, which I have to be honest with you, it's kind of surprising. I didn't expect that. Didn't expect that at all. But you guys have really been enjoying the morning streams, and I have too. It's a nice change of pace. So I figured we'd go at it again. We'd do another one again today. So good morning, everybody. Let's see who we got in chat. Good morning, AP Sanchez Ghost. What is up, guys? Welcome, welcome. Um, what is up, gaming? What's up, guys? Welcome, welcome. Let's see. Got comments pulled up. I already notified the Discord, right? I made sure I did that. Yeah, we did that. We did that. All right. We're ahead of the game today. What you doing, Sanchez, my boy? What's up, AC? Olivia, hi all. Hello, hello. Welcome. Like I said, I've been quite surprised by my morning streams these past few days, so I figured why not? We'll keep it going. People seem to be enjoying them. I'm enjoying the change of pace, so another morning stream. And today, guys, today we are going to be talking about anxiety recovery. It's all about building the right attitude. Now, I include the word building there for a reason. The word building is in the title for a reason. It's all about building the right attitude. When people think about recovery, when people sit down and try to figure out what recovery is all about, it's really easy to get kind of turned around and obsessed, right? In fact, it's a very common mistake that a lot of people make is to become obsessed with what recovery even means, right? Becoming obsessed with what recovery even means, becoming obsessed with which way to go about it. So, very easy to make that mistake. It's a mistake that a lot of people make. So, today we're going to just sum it up for you. Recovery is about building the right attitude, right? So instead of getting turned in so many circles, instead of going in so many circles, trying to wrap your brain around what exactly recovery means, we're going to sum it up for you nice, short, sweet, and simple today. It's all about building the right attitude. So that's what we've got in store for you today. It's going to be a good one. Whoa, kind of early, isn't it? Yes, yes, it is. It is 8 a.m. 8 a.m. My time. Like I said, I've been really enjoying the morning streams here recently, so I figured why not? We'll go at it again. LOL, I was reading comments in the Discord. Hey, I'm glad to see you over on the Discord, Sanchez. We don't really get to see you over there that often, so pretty cool that you're joining us over there. Let me go ahead. Let me go ahead real quick and grab that Discord link. Speaking of the Discord, go ahead and do that. Drop that Discord link in there for anybody who wants to join us over there. Completely free to do so. Hey, all, what's up? Welcome, welcome. We're about to get started in just a second, guys. We'll give it a minute or two. We'll let some people get in here who want to join us. I know notifications can be fashionably late sometimes. What's up, Truth? I love the morning ones. They've been pretty popular. They've been pretty popular to my surprise. So we've made some recent changes to the Discord. We try to improve the Discord as often as we can. You can tell it's early. Oh, you can tell it's early because I'm still yawning over here. That's how you know. That's how you know. So, all right, let's see how many people we got in here. This might be a good stream for you then, Truth. Good morning, Kate. What time is it for you? 8 a.m. 8 a.m. Let's see how many people we've got in here. Hey, it's a good thing you don't have to be perfect, right, Truth? All right, guys, anxiety recovery, it's all about building the right attitude. Let's go ahead and get started because we've got a good amount of people in here already, so no need to wait around any longer. So, as I was saying, I see it all the time. I see it all the time, whether we're talking about on the Discord or we're talking about the Facebook page or comments on the videos or even in the live streams. I see it all the time. A lot of people trying to wrap their brains around what true recovery is, what the practice of true recovery is, right? There's a lot of mental circles going on. What should I do? What shouldn't I do? Should I be doing this? Should I be doing that? A lot of mental circles going on based around recovery, right? So today I really wanted to come on here and basically put it in a way, right? And this is what we always do. This is what we try to make our point here in doing, to try to put it in a way that's super simple and super easy to remember. And that's why the title of this stream is Recovery is about building the right attitude. So when you hear the word acceptance, right? Or when you hear about the two main keys, live your life, stop fighting with these anxious thoughts and feelings, just embrace them, right? While you continue on living. When you hear, no second fear, when you hear all of these different things, it comes down to one main thing at the end of the day. All of these different terms and labels, they all come down to one thing at the end of the day, and that is the right attitude. That is probably the most simple way to put it. It is the right attitude. Okay, so when we're facing anxiety, when we're trying to retrain our brains, when we've got a brain that is wired to be fearful, when we've got a brain that is wired to be anxious, when we've got a brain that is tired, when we've got a body that is sensitized, it all comes down to the right attitude. Whether you want to call it acceptance, no second fear, the two main keys, it all comes down to the right attitude. And this might help you to simplify it in your own minds. Right? So, what is the right attitude? What is the right accepting attitude? When we say the accepting attitude, what are we referring to? Well, for starters, we know that our goal, our objective, our only job here, as far as recovery is concerned, is to prove to our brains that there's no real danger. Okay, that's our job. Very simple to understand. Okay, my job is to prove to my brain that this is no real danger. So whether I'm triggered over this or triggered over that or I'm sensitized, whatever the case may be, my one job is to prove to my brain that the danger does not exist. How do we do that? Again, it all boils down to the right attitude. Okay, so there's two different attitudes. We're going to get into the meat and potatoes here. There's two different attitudes that you can have when it comes to anxiety recovery. The first attitude is the attitude that most people adopt until they learn about acceptance. The first attitude is what keeps people in the cycle. The first attitude is what shows the brain that, hey, this danger might be real, even though it's not, and it's what keeps your brain wired to be anxious. That attitude is the attitude of worry, second fear, negativity, whatever label you want to give it. It is the attitude of worry, worry, worry. It is the attitude of freak out, freak out, freak out. Right? So there lies the problem. If that is our attitude, if every time I'm anxious, if every time I have a negative intrusive thought, if every time my anxiety is triggered over something, whatever that something might be is pretty much irrelevant. But if every time I'm anxious, right, I go with that negative freak out worry attitude, right, which can look like many different things, but if that's the attitude that I choose to go with, I'm going to continue to reinforce to my brain that anxiety is needed. I'm going to continue to reinforce to my brain that there must be a real danger where there's not, right? Now, what is the winning attitude? What is the attitude you need to adopt? What is the attitude you need to build? I use the word build in the title because it really is a building process. You're in the process of working on that. You're in the process of practicing that, right? And nobody is perfect. It's just like building any kind of new habit. What is the winning attitude? The winning attitude is the attitude of I need this. I want this. I want to feel this uncomfortable. I want to feel this anxious because I know while I'm feeling this way, I can continue on with my day, not use coping methods or try to fight the anxiety or mentally get involved, right, with the blah, blah, blah. I can just continue doing whatever it is I was doing, even though I'm uncomfortable. And believe me, I know you're uncomfortable, but even though I'm uncomfortable, I can continue on doing what I'm doing, knowing that I'm not going to change it for anxiety because I'm going to prove to my brain while I'm anxious that all is well. So that is the attitude, the winning attitude of I need this, of I want this. And the more you practice building that winning attitude, even though, like I said, I know you feel uncomfortable, you're experiencing symptoms. Those symptoms can range in severity. You're experiencing a lot of negative intrusive thoughts. They can seem so real, right? They can seem so real in the moment. I get that. I understand what you're going through, but I'm teaching you how the game is played. There's always those two attitudes. There's the attitude of, I don't want this, fight this, mentally worry about this, mentally try to take up arms and fight this off, battle with this, mentally tell myself how much I don't want this, right? Working myself up, proving to my brain that there must be a danger when there's not, right? That's the attitude, unfortunately, that most people take when they first start. Then there's the attitude of, okay, I know what's going on here. I know what's going on here. This is a false alarm. I know the real me, right? This is a false alarm. I know what's going on. I know what's happening behind the scenes here. I'm going to adopt the winning attitude of I want to feel this way because this is while I'm retraining. This is when I'm doing the most retraining. There we go. That's a better way to put it. This is when I'm doing the most retraining. I want to embrace these feelings. I want to embrace these thoughts because this is when it matters. I want to feel this way because this is when it matters. Bring it on, right? More of the aggressive approach if you want to go that route. But either way, you know what you're doing now because you know the cycle that you're in. Okay? So there's always, at the end of the day, and again, nobody's perfect, but at the end of the day, there's always that choice. There's always that choice. Whatever it is that you're triggered about, irrelevant. Whatever time of day it is that you're triggered, irrelevant. Whether you're triggered 24 hours a day, it seems like or feels like to you, right? Irrelevant. Whatever, forget all the minor little details here for a second. When we're speaking of anxiety, we've got a brain that wants to be proven that there is no real danger. And to do that, we got to build the right attitude. Because if we keep building the attitude of second fear, which second fear is a fancy term for worry and freaking out and dropping what you're doing to try to fight the anxiety, blah, blah, blah. If we keep building that attitude, we just reinforce the wrong message. But for example, right? If I'm sitting here and doing my thing, whatever that thing may be, and then I start to feel triggered, I start to feel those inner feelings, right? Those anxious or panicky feelings, and I make the choice to remind myself, "Hey, I need this. This is a moment to shine for me. This is a moment to put in that work." Anxiety learns the most while anxiety is turned on. What's the two ways that anxiety learns, right? Your behaviors and whether or not you're mentally adding to the problem with all the worries. So the two main keys will always be stop fighting with the thoughts and feelings up here. Just remind yourself, okay, I had that thought, I had that feeling, so be it. I need this, and continue living, doing whatever it is you were doing. When we say live life, we simply mean, right? The simplest way to put that is we simply mean continue doing whatever it is you were doing. Don't drop or stop or change anything for the anxiety, because then the anxiety is going to think that you took action because there was a real problem, right? So you're just kind of reinforcing that false alarm. Now, always those two choices. Always those two choices of attitude that you have at the end of the day. And which attitude that you personally choose to continue to build is up to you. Now, again, you don't have to be perfect, right, to make progress. Some people think you have to be absolutely 110% perfect. You can't ever screw up, right? Or you won't make progress, which is just not true. Which is just not true. In fact, you can screw up plenty, right? You can screw up plenty and still make some progress. Of course, over time we want to work on our consistency. We want to work on our dedication to this, but you can still screw up and make progress. You absolutely can. So keep that in mind. But at the end of the day, guys, acceptance, all these big fancy terms that you hear when it comes to recovery, when it comes to acceptance, there's a million different terms out there, and I'm sure you've heard every single one of them. Acceptance, no second fear, retraining, rewiring, whatever you want to call it. At the end of the day, it's all going to come down to the same thing. It really is. And that's choosing the right attitude in the moment. Right? And that's not to say you're not going to feel uncomfortable. I understand that you do. Maybe even very uncomfortable, right? And that's putting it lightly. I understand that. And that's not to say that you won't have symptoms and you won't have thoughts and it freaks you out a little bit on the inside. I understand, right? But we're still going to work on that attitude because we know the way the game is being played. We know what's actually going on here. We know what's going on behind the scenes, and we're going to use this knowledge to our advantage, right? To build the correct attitude that's going to lead to healing, that's going to lead to rewiring your brain. So I mostly wanted to make this stream because I know there's a lot of people out there that get confused on terms, right? They get confused on terms. What does this mean? What's recovery really mean? What does acceptance really mean? And I want to just, I wanted to boil that down to its bare basics, bare bones here, and just tell you that it means a change of attitude. That's really what it means at the end of the day. You're still experiencing these symptoms and thoughts while you're in the process of recovery, but it's a change of attitude towards them. Boom. There you go. That's absolutely the most perfect way you could put it. You're still going to experience this and that and this and that while you're in the process of recovering, but it's a change of attitude towards them. And that doesn't mean that the old attitude might not pop up, but you're going to replace that and you're going to work on the new one regardless, right? Until that new one becomes very much solid. Okay, you guys? So that Whew, was the point of today's stream. I hope everyone enjoyed it. We're going to read some comments. We're going to see who's over in the chat now. Like I said, I know we're extremely early today, but we've been having some really good morning streams, and you guys seem to be enjoying them. So I figured, why not? We'll knock another morning stream out. But yeah, let's switch on over to the comments and see who's here. And before I forget, because I've forgot every single stream for the past few days now, I've had to be reminded, we're going to put on some music. We're going to put on some music before I forget. Let's see. Let's get a good playlist going. Go ahead and ask your questions, make your comments, because I will be getting to them in just a second. Once I get us some music going here. What's up, Truth? Okay, let's get some music. Oh, that's loud. That's loud. That's loud. That's loud. That's loud. Alright, let's turn that down just a little bit. Hope that wasn't too loud to anybody out there. Alright. Alright. That's better. Okay, I think we're alright. Let's see, did I miss anybody in the chat so far? Past few days, man, we've had some awesome streams. I highly recommend you guys check them out. Almost fell out. No GIF wars here? Unfortunately, you can't. I wish you could. YouTube needs to make that a thing. You should be able to post GIFs in the comments. Absolutely, Olivia. Absolutely. There will never be a situation where a change of attitude is not helpful for you on your anxiety journey. There will never be a situation where the fearful, second fear, worry attitude is ever helpful for you. That'll never be helpful for you, right? And like I said, today's stream was mostly just to boil what acceptance recovery is all about down into simple terms. But absolutely, there will never be any situation with anxiety that exists where a change of attitude is not the way to go. Absolutely, absolutely. You have got that right. I love the GIF Wars room. Yeah, I wish you could post GIFs in YouTube chat. That would be cool. But we do have a whole room set up for GIF Wars over on the Discord. I thought that would be a good idea since people seem to be quite entertained by the GIF Wars. People seem to be enjoying it. I try to make improvements to the Discord where I can. If I can get woke up today, that would be great. That would be a good start. It's a chilly, very chilly morning here. My first in there last night, I fell asleep while I was in there. I feel like most people do fall asleep during the GIF Wars because for those of you who don't know what a GIF War is, it's a simple concept. It's just people in chat send GIFs back and forth literally until last man standing. So basically until you fall asleep or get tired of it. That's what a GIF War is. Very simple concept, but they're actually pretty entertaining for some reason that I haven't figured out yet. I don't know. I can't put my finger on it, but they're actually pretty entertaining. Not gonna lie. If you fell asleep during GIF War, Sanchez, you did. It's fair to say you didn't win. You didn't win. Maybe next time. doing an excellent job, Wonder Bro. I appreciate that, Truth. Thank you. I'm trying. Love cold weather. I do too. I don't mind it. A lot of people hate it. I don't mind it, but I do have to bundle up because I get cold pretty easily. So I don't hate it, but I do have to bundle up quite heavily. Who is it on the Discord that usually comes away with the W's on the GIF wars? I think it's Mike. Mike's pretty dedicated. I believe it's Mike. Anyway, I just leave. I didn't know it was a game. It's kind of it's like a friendly competition. Who can send? You can't. It's weird. You have to actively participate. As far as I know, I didn't make the rules, but as far as I know, you have to actively participate. And you have to keep up with the gifts and be sending gifts, right? You can't fall asleep. You can't leave. If you do, you don't win. I think that's their rules. I don't know. You'll have to ask them over there. Heating on and fire, staying nice, warm, and cozy. Yes. It's only gonna get colder from here, I believe. So, but I think they said today we're actually expecting somewhat of a warm day. So I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see, I guess. I'm pretty satisfied with today's little stream. I feel like that's really a good way to sum up acceptance. I know I see it all the time, and it was starting to make me think, you know, people really do overthink acceptance. They really do make it into something that it's not. I know that I did for a very long time, and that's of course not helpful at all. So I mean, when we've got someone who's already got a tired mind and a tired body and they're just obsessing about what they've learned, not really the path we're wanting people to go here, right? It's very counterproductive. So I just wanted to do a very to the point stream today, trying to make it as simple as, you know, to understand as possible, because I know me personally, I did that all the time. I would totally obsess about I would totally obsess about acceptance and run around in circle after circle, which of course is not where we're looking to go with this. I'm playing full time next time. I'll win. Called it a tie after 5 hours. Probably a smart move. Yeah, I feel like it's only going to get colder from here, Olivia. But like I said, I think we're expecting for some odd reason, Mother Nature being very strange. I think we're expecting a warm day today. We will find out. Soon enough, we will find out. I couldn't even get a glimpse of how I used to be or think my values. Everything seemed foggy. Instead of trying to force yourself to get a glimpse of who you used to be, just understand that you know what you know. And what I mean by that is, you know that you're in a state where your mind is all over the place, right? Mostly negative. You know that you're in a state with a tired body. So instead of saying, you know, I want to try to catch a glimpse of who I used to be, well, you know, instead of want, change your attitude from I wish I could catch a glimpse of who I used to be. I want to do this, I want to do that, instead of that very tense attitude of, oh gosh, I wish for change, right? And we know that you want to recover. Obviously that's the end goal. We're not taking that from you. But instead of in the moment tensing up and saying, oh, I wish I could glimpse who I used to be and blah blah blah, we need to work on the attitude, more of an accepting attitude, so we can take our foot off the gas, right? So instead of, you know, tensing up, oh, I wish I could change, I wish I could glimpse who I used to be, just accept the fact, okay, I know that I'm in a tired mind and body state right now, which comes with all of these mental and physical symptoms. I know that, right? Instead of tensing up against it and wishing for something to be different in the moment, I'm going to work on that accepting attitude, because like the title of this stream says, it's all about attitude, dude. It's all about attitude. If you can step away from that gas on the fire attitude and start working on, you notice I got the word build there, building, because it is a practice, building the accepting attitude instead, right? Instead of fighting against what is, you will take your foot off that gas and you will give your mind and body that desperate break that they need so badly, right? Build on it. Work on it. Even if you don't believe these new accepting words that are coming out of your mouth, use them anyway. Use them anyway, right? Right? And that's, that's why I pointed it out at the beginning of the stream. I was like, hey guys, I've got the word building in the title for a reason, because it really much is a building process. Really much is a building process. Because you might not necessarily believe those new accepting words that you're using, that you're introducing into your vocabulary, right? You might not believe those words, but we're going to build on it anyway. We're going to build on it anyway. Excuse me. Oh, so fake it till you make it. That makes sense. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. Let me correct you just a little bit. I'm not a huge fan of fake it till you make it, because you're not faking shit. Right? You're not faking shit. You're understanding how the game is played. So there's a difference between, oh, I need to fake it till I make it, and, oh, I understand how this game is played. I've got a tired mind and body that thinks there's something wrong when there's nothing wrong. It's a false alarm. And because I understand how the game is played, I'm going to play by the rules, which means I know logically, on a logical level, that these thoughts, these feelings, false alarm, right? I know that this is not, quote unquote, the real me. You know all of this on a logical level, right? And sometimes it can be difficult, right, to admit that to yourself, but you do know on a logical level that these thoughts and feelings are not who you really are. So you know that on a logical level. And that's why I don't like fake it till you make it, because you're not faking anything. You're just playing the game by the way the game is played. You're playing by the rules now, right? So on a logical level, you know that these thoughts and feelings are not who you are. And because you know that, you also know that in order to give your mind and body a break and to let them heal, you need to play by the rules. And the rules are, you need to remember that the more you reinforce this anxiety by reacting to it, right? And by stopping what you're doing and changing things for the anxiety, so forth and so on, you know that you're just reinforcing the false alarm. So you know all of this on a logical level, and now, instead of fake it till you make it, which I'm not a fan of that quote, we're going to say we're going to play by the rules, right? So it's not fake it till you make it, it's I know the way the game is played here, right? So you're not really faking anything. You're playing by the rules now, right? So yeah, you may continue to feel uncomfortable during the healing process, of course, obviously, right? You may continue to have these thoughts or feelings for a bit, but you're not really trying to fake anything. You're just playing by the rules because you know how this game is played now. I've taught you how the game is played, and now you're going to play, how it's supposed to be played. So you're not really faking anything. So a good example there is, let's say you get really anxious and you want to get up and pace around the house, or you want to get on Dr. Google, or you want to do all these old coping methods, all these negative behaviors. You want to do these things because that's what you've been doing for so long. Instead of telling yourself in the moment, okay, I'm not going to get on Dr. Google, I'm not going to pace around the house, I'm not going to add all this worry mentally, right? I'm just going to continue playing my video game or whatever it is you were doing, right? You wouldn't call that faking it. You would call it, okay, I know what I got to do. I know how this works, right? I know what I got to do to retrain my brain. That's why I'm doing the things that I'm doing, right? That's why I'm doing these things. Not because I'm faking it, but because I know what needs to be done, right? So that's a much better way to put it, because when you tell people fake it till they make it, they start to get all these crazy wild ideas that, oh, I'm fighting this thing and blah blah. No, 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 you're not. You're playing the game the way the game is supposed to be played, because you know how it works. So I hope that clears it up for you. What's up, old mate? Welcome to the stream, dude. Hope you're doing well. We're just chilling this morning. A nice little cozy morning stream, and I hope everybody out there is doing well. And if you don't feel the hottest right now, well, you know how the game is played. Start playing by the rules, right? Start playing by the rules, and you'll get there just fine. Let's give another quick example of that, because I love example, right? I love examples. Let's say you wake up. I know that Truth said she struggles with some morning anxiety. Let's say you wake up and you've got some morning anxiety pumping, man. You got those feelings going. You know how uncomfortable they make you. You've got the thoughts. Maybe there's some thoughts, feelings, thoughts, symptoms, all kind of there, right? You kind of have a choice in that moment. You have a choice in that moment. Do you A, right, say, oh God, I need to fake it till I make it, or do you say B, oh man, I know how this is played. I know the rules of the game here. I've got a false alarm going on right now. What's going to help my brain learn more than anything? Number one, change of attitude, right? Number one and only. Change of attitude. Okay, false alarm. Great. This is an opportunity to teach my brain. I'm going to get up, go on about my morning, take my shower, have my coffee, whatever it is you normally do or would do if anxiety wasn't there, right? I'm going to do that because I know my brain's watching. My brain wants to be sure I'm safe. This is a perfect opportunity for me to put in some work, to do some retraining. That's great. I'm going to have my shower, have my coffee, listen to some music, do what I would normally do or what I would want to do if the anxiety wasn't there, right? I'm going to do that because now my brain's going to say, hey, we're sounding a false alarm here, but they're just going on about their day, right? You might be highly uncomfortable during that, and that's understandable, but just keep your head above water and remember why you're doing what you're doing. Right? And be your own best friend, okay? So you're doing what you're doing because you know that you got a brain to retrain, an attitude shift, and you're taking advantage of it rather than looking at it as a bad thing. You're taking advantage of it rather than looking at it as, oh crap, I don't want this. You're looking at it as, I do want this because this is going to lead to the person I want to be in the future, right? So as I'm uncomfortable, and I'm saying to myself, you know what, this is okay, I want this, and you're going on about your morning anyway, you're taking your shower, you're having your coffee, you're eating your breakfast, you're cleaning up, you're being productive, you're washing the dishes, whatever it is you do, I don't know, right? While you're doing all this, you're keeping the attitude of, okay, this is great, man, my brain is learning, right? And you might be highly uncomfortable, I understand, you might be having a lot of thoughts, I understand, but you're keeping that right attitude, right? And this is what's going to get you there. This is what's going to show the brain, hey, time to take those fear pathways and break them down, right? Because look at me. I'm just getting on with my day as usual, even with this fear there, right? And that's basically you saying to the brain, hey, brain, start making the changes. Right? And the brain, as long as you keep this new attitude up, which is, what we said is acceptance at the end of the day, as long as you keep this new attitude up for long enough, the brain says, okay, boss, you got it. You have proven to me that I'm on some bullshit, and I'm going to start erasing this bullshit, right? So, that's a continued process. It takes a little bit of time. You don't break these fear pathways down in 15 minutes, right? But as you keep this new attitude, it's going to get easier and easier and easier and easier and easier, and you're going to be a brand new person, right? But you got to keep this attitude. You got to build this attitude. So, hold up a second. I think I missed something. I don't know for sure, but I think I did. Let me check that. Sanchez, keeping the Christmas spirit alive. I did miss something. Olivia, thank you so much, Olivia. Can we get a huge shout out in the chat for Olivia coming in with the $55 tip? I think that's 2 days in a row that she has done that. Thank you so much, Olivia. Can we show her some love in the chat, please? She deserves it. I almost forgot to update the streak there. We're moving on to a 56 day streak, guys. I know I've said it every morning stream the past 2-3 days here. But normally we don't do morning streams because the crowd is a little smaller than the afternoon streams. But you guys are killing it, man. You guys are killing it. My morning stream, you guys should be proud of yourself. Thank you so much. Huge, huge shout out in the chat to Olivia. Really do appreciate it. You guys never have to do that, but it really does help to keep the show on the road, and it supports me more than you know. So thank you so much for that. She must have went directly, when you go directly through the PayPal instead of using the link there in the description, you don't get the fat Santa on screen or whatever. And unless I check my phone, it's easy for me to overlook. So if you do make a future tip and I don't announce it, don't feel bad for calling it out. Be like, hey, Wonder Bro, check your shit. Don't feel bad. Don't feel bad if you have to do that. Thank you so much, Olivia. I appreciate it. All about that right attitude, man. All about that right attitude. Whenever you get lost, guys, whenever you get in those moments where those symptoms are strong, those thoughts are strong, whatever, you start to run in mental circles. What do I do here? What would Wonder Bro tell me to do? What would Wonder Bro tell me to do, right? How many times have you asked yourself that? What would Wonder Bro tell me to do? You start to get really worked up. Simply come back to that one thing. If that's all you take from this channel, great. Simply come back to that one thing. Right attitude. I need to change my attitude here to an accepting attitude, right? To an accepting attitude. Whatever you need to tell yourself to start building that accepting attitude, I call it accepting little reminders, right? We're not arguing with the thoughts or feelings, but it's okay to use some accepting reminders. So whatever you need to tell yourself to keep that accepting attitude going, no matter how strong these thoughts or feelings are, you tell yourself that, and you tell yourself that without shame. That is working on the accepting attitude, what Dr. Claire Weeks called the correct inner voice. The correct inner voice. She called it the correct inner voice, the accepting inner voice. I call it the right attitude. But whatever you need to tell yourself in the moment to keep your head above water and to work on and build on that accepting attitude, you tell yourself those things, and you tell yourself those things without shame, right? Because now you're working on the right attitude. And that takes work, that takes effort, but you should be proud of yourself, and you should take advantage of this anxiety rather than run from it. You take advantage of it rather than run from it by getting on with your day with your nice behaviors or accepting behaviors or positive behaviors, right? Living your life is what we call that in the 2 main keys. You do this long enough and you're going to have a brain that realizes these false alarms are crap, right? But you do have to put that effort in. You do have to put that effort in. Nobody's going to do it for you, but the good news is you are absolutely capable. The other good news is you don't have to be perfect. So you have no reason to get started. You have no reason to not get started. Sorry. My apologies. You have no reason to not get started. Let's get started. And don't, as you're building this new accepting attitude, don't sit there and say, oh God, it's not working. That's not an accepting attitude. If you say to yourself, okay, I want these thoughts and feelings. Let's have a good day regardless with our behaviors, and then let's not add too much worry. If you tell yourself that, and then 2 seconds later, which you might out of habit, that's okay. As long as you catch it, that's okay. But 2 seconds later, you might say, oh God, it's not going away. You need to catch that and turn that back into the accepting attitude again. It might feel like a tug of war, but you need to do it, right? You can't let that old attitude run away with you. You cannot let that old attitude run away with you. You need to be on top of things. You need to catch it. And it's okay if it happens. As long as you catch it, you're good. As long as you catch it, you're putting in the work, right? A lot of people think, oh, I can never add fear again, second fear, That's what Dr. Claire Weeks called it. I can never add worry again or else I'm losing at this. No, as long as you catch it, you're good. You can add worry for a good, however long, but if you catch it and start building the accepting attitude, now we're putting in work. Oh, no, you're good, Olivia. I just, I wanted to let you know that because some people who go directly through the PayPal instead of the link or whatever, I'll miss their tips or something because I don't look at my phone quick enough, and then I feel bad about it later because I'm like, damn. They totally tipped and I didn't announce it. So I was just letting you know in the future, if that ever happens, don't be afraid to say, hey, Wonder Bro, check your shit, dude. And I will check it. Under, understandable, Olivia. I just didn't want you to go without a, you know, without a thank you. So, without a thank you at least, because you did push us on to a 56-day streak all by yourself, and that's huge. That is huge. Thank you so much. Morning stream, like I said, has been killing it. You guys are like, nah, man, we're not giving it back to the afternoon stream. Forget that. Morning stream taking over, dude. We're having a turf war on here. Alright, since we got a break in the action for a second, let's go ahead and grab that Discord link one more time. Like I said, we've been working on that Discord pretty heavily. It's a fun place to be. And if you want to join us over there, feel free to do so. The link should appear in chat in just a second. We've got a lot of people in here this morning, but only 8 likes, guys. What's going on? We've all forgotten. I know I forget all the time, but let's take a second. Let's take just a second, hit that like button, man. Let's run those likes up every time you toss a like to the stream. Believe it or not, I know this seems unbelievable. I get it. But believe it or not, likes really do help the algorithm. So every time you press that like button, you are possibly helping get these videos out to people who need them. To people who desperately need them. So take a second just to hit that like button. Let's get this stuff out there for the people who are in desperate need of this stuff, right? Only takes a second. What's up, Lucy? Welcome. Good to see you. I refuse. Morning on the best. Like I said, we got like a turf war going on here between morning stream and afternoon stream. I'm not gonna lie to you. Morning stream's kicking ass right now. Morning stream's kicking ass right now. You're one awesome guy, Wonder Bro. You are too, Travis. We're glad to have you, dude. And I hope you're enjoying the Discord. It's good to see you over there. Kate says, I like the morning streams. It's just not, it's not something we're used to. We're used to like more like afternoon type streams, but I have to admit the morning streams have been awesome. It's a little unfamiliar, but they have been awesome. Liked, thank you for the like, Kay. I appreciate it. I'm gonna go right now and check something out because I seen this the other day and I meant to look at it the other day, but I forgot. Apparently, I don't know if you can do it on YouTube streams. I know you can do it on Twitch, but apparently there is a notification that you can set up to have a little notification pop up on stream. I wouldn't do it with sound because that would get really, really old and annoying for you guys. I wouldn't do it with sound, but apparently you can have a little notification pop up on screen when people like the stream. I don't know if that's a YouTube thing, but it would be cool. Let me see. Let me do a little bit of search here, research. What's up, Expressing Yourself? Good morning. Dude, first of all, God bless you. After many visits with the doc, medication, they have crushed my soul. I would love a phone call with you, maybe. Reach out to me. Reach out to me. We'll see if we can make that happen. But until then, I highly recommend you watch the streams. I highly recommend you watch the streams, okay? Because I'm going to let you in on a little secret here. Whether you talk to me personally, whether you get to talk to me one-on-one or not, right? The streams have all of the juicy information that you could possibly ever need or want. That is a promise. That is a promise. I don't like, and I'm not saying you are, but I don't want anyone to think that they need to talk to me personally or else they're going to miss out on some valuable information they're not going to be able to recover. You know, maybe I'm holding something back or something. I'm not. Believe me, the streams have everything you need. In fact, most streams cover all the basics in one go. Right? Most streams cover all the basics in one go. So you could click on any one of my streams and you're going to find the information. But if you're new here, I'll give you a quick rundown of that. So the two main keys are live your life. So first and foremost, we want to get out of bed. We want to get back into living. Right? We want to show the brain by living that these false alarms are false. Right? So the brain is watching you live your life. Number two, Mentally, we want to keep the right attitude. We want to embrace the thoughts and feelings. We don't want to be adding a ton of worry. When we catch ourselves adding a ton of worry, we want to change that to the accepting attitude. So if you notice that you're up in your mind adding a lot of worry, you change that to, you know what, I want these thoughts and feelings because it's a chance to prove myself. This is okay. So we want to work on that positive accepting attitude. And you might have to catch yourself a lot adding worry, but when you catch yourself, turn it into the accepting attitude. Rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. That is the two main keys. Live your life as usual, right, like you normally would, and work on the accepting attitude, the mental accepting attitude. That is the two main keys. If that's all you get from today's stream, then that's enough. You work on those two things. Write it down. Live my life and work on my accepting attitude instead of the worry attitude. Catch it when I'm doing it, when I'm doing the worry, and work on the accepting attitude instead. Write those two things down. You do that, and you are well on your way. You do that, and you are well on your way. So I'm glad you made that comment, because I don't ever want anyone out there to think that they need to do one of my coaching sessions. It's something I offer in my free time. It's something I offer on the side. Helps me out, helps people out, but I don't want anyone out there to think that they absolutely have to have one of those, or else they'll miss some vital piece of information or something, because that's not how I operate. That's not how I operate. I'll be straight up with you and I'll tell you, you got those two things, you're on your way. You watch the streams, you're on your way. I could probably make a shit ton of money by telling people, hey, unless you talk to me personally, man, you're going to miss out on a few key pieces here. But that's not true, and I would never do that to people, right? So write those two things down, man. Live your life, work on that accepting attitude. You start working on those two things, you are well on your way. You might not believe your new accepting attitude when you first start, but if you work on it, you're doing the work, and that's what matters. The brain is eventually going to catch up. Write those two things down, get started on that, and we're well on our way. Wonder Bro be Googling, just accept, man. Hey, honestly, I don't think you actually can have an alert for likes on YouTube. I think you can on Twitch, but not YouTube. That sucks a little bit, because that would have been cool, but it's okay. It's okay. Let's see, there's one for super chats, there's one for members. Not seeing one for likes though. Well, like I said, expressing yourself, I just wanted to make sure that you knew that I'm not withholding anything here. There's no secret information. That little rant that I just gave you a second ago, that's everything, right? That's everything. So I didn't want your mind playing tricks on you, telling you, oh, I'm missing something here, because the mind is good at that. The mind is good at making you doubt, like you said, and I wanted to kind of crush that doubt and let you know, hey, as long as you just listen to what I said, you got it, man. You already got it all, right? Because I know how the mind makes people doubt, and I do not want that. I do not want that to happen. Do not want that to happen. Discord is an extremely healthy environment, healed or not. I agree. I love the Discord. Conversation with someone who relates? Absolutely, Kay. Just let me know. Like I said, I will reach out. If you guys reach out to me and get up with me, we can schedule something like that. That is something I do offer. But at the same time, I just didn't want anybody's minds playing tricks on them, thinking they have to do that because I'm withholding information here or something. Absolutely not. So I just wanted to address that. But it is something I offer, Hey, what's up, Tony? Welcome, dude. Each and every one of you are so very capable. of getting to the place that you want to be, and it comes down to those 2 points right there. Live your life and work on that accepting attitude. Is it that simple? Yes. Does it take work? Yes. Is it worth it? Yes. Can you do it? Yes, absolutely. You can go from the bottom of the barrel to the very top. You better believe it. You better believe it. I agree with you, Lucy. And if you've missed any of our streams these past 2 or 3 days, I highly recommend you go back and check them out because they've been some good ones. I've been very, very pleased, very pleased with our streams these past few days. You absolutely can tell the difference between intrusive thoughts and you. You can, because they make you feel very uncomfortable. Trust me when I say, make this simple on yourself. Log off the Google. Okay, first and foremost, believe me, log off the fucking Google, because you're going to find a million different opinions, and it's just going to make you run in circles. Right? It's just going to make you run in circles. You're going to find things that say the opposite to what you believe. You're going to find things that agree with you, blah, 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 blah. Log off the Google. Okay, because the obsession's not going to help. Stick to those 2 things. If you want my opinion, stick to those 2 things. Make it simple on yourself. Work on the accepting attitude, right? Live your life. Watch what happens over time. Okay? Even though Wonder Bro doesn't push one-on-one sessions, I'd highly recommend it. I appreciate that, Defender. Yeah, I don't push them. I do advertise them from time to time because, you know, it does help me survive in this world. You know, financially, of course, but at the same time, I also make it a point to say, hey, you know, we cover everything here, so if it's something you can't afford or can't do, don't think that I'm withholding information, because I'm not, right? So I think it's fair that way. I think it's more than fair that way. Hey, you're making progress, old mate. So proud of you, dude. What's up, Mint? Good morning. Yep, step aside, which means to work on the accepting attitude, Tony. Step aside, work on the accepting attitude instead of gassing the fire. No need to beat yourself up, EL, and keep in mind that if you're up in your head saying, "Oh God, I'm going through this," or I'm going backward, you're adding fuel. You're adding resistance. So we need to work on the accepting attitude. We need to get back to working on that, because if you're up in your head telling yourself things like, "Oh God, I'm going backwards. Oh God, I'm doing this again. Oh God," if you're doing that, then we are not working on the accepting attitude. And we know from the title of this stream that the whole point of this is working on the accepting attitude, right? You might not believe those new accepting words coming out of your mouth at first, but we work on building it anyway. So get back into living your life, get back to working on the accepting attitude, and everything's going to fall right in place for you, because you're going to take your foot off the gas. Don't change your life for anxiety, guys. Don't change your life for anxiety. The 2 main keys: live your life and work on the accepting attitude. We're going to get you right back to where you want to be, Expressing, right? You work on these 2 things, and I mean you really give me some effort here, we're going to get you right back to where you need to be. Don't need to have a plan. Don't need to have a plan, Mint. You just need to work on the accepting attitude, right? And do what you want to do. So instead of trying to formulate a plan, which is a lot like obsession, it is obsession, right? A lot of mental drawing board where there doesn't need to be a mental drawing board. We just work on the accepting attitude. We let the cards fall where they may, right? Instead of going circle after circle after circle, we work on the accepting attitude, okay? Even if you don't necessarily believe it at first, we work on the accepting attitude. We let the cards fall where they may, right? Instead of doing the obsession. Isn't that much simpler? Isn't that much simpler? I know your mind's going to reject that. Your mind's going to say, no, 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 no. I got to have this perfect formula here. Your mind's going to reject that. Your mind is going to try to reject how simple the two main keys are. Your mind is going to try to throw you some curveballs on how simple the two main keys are, which is just live your life and work on the accepting attitude, right? We call it not fighting with anything. Work on the accepting attitude. Your mind is going to throw you some curveballs with how simple the two main keys are. Yeah, but, yeah, but, yeah, but, yeah, but, yeah, blah, 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 blah. Like a little goblin, blah, 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 right? But let's come back to the two main keys. Let's simplify this and let's work on it, and you're going to see how things fall in place for you. So the mind might try to throw some curveballs over how simple it is, but we're going to come back to it anyway, regardless. Fuck them curveballs. Fuck them curveballs. We're going to come back to what we know is true. Is it that simple? Yes. Is your mind going to try to reject that because it is that simple? Yes. But we have explained and explained a million different ways why that is the way that that works with the two main keys. You've got all the knowledge. Regardless of what your mind wants to try to make it out to be, if you come back to those two main keys time and time again, you're going to get where you want to go. No need to try to navigate it. No need to try to navigate it. You've only got one job, right? And that's to work on the accepting attitude. So the mind throws all sorts of unhealthy suggestions your way, and you try to figure it all out and pick it all apart. Now you're obsessing over the mind's suggestions, right? Which is not the accepting attitude. So we accept what's going on mentally. We accept what's going on in the body. We work on the accepting attitude, right? We carry on with the day. So make your job much easier on yourself than what you're trying to make it now. Someone said, which they said you cannot overcome. Which they said. We've heard it from millions of different people, right? We've heard this, we've heard that, we've heard you can, we've heard you can't. How about we make it simple on ourselves? We use the two main keys and see what happens. Oof. Now there's a crazy idea, right? There's a crazy idea, right? Because here's the thing. I can tell you all day long, look, I used to be there and I'm not there. Anybody in chat who's recovered can tell you, look, I used to be there and I'm not there. Anybody and everybody can do this, right? Your mind's not going to buy it. So how about, instead of trying to get certainty, we just work on those two main keys and see what happens? There's a crazy idea. Sanchez, my guy, thank you so much, dude. Thank you so much. I have a feeling, I have a strange feeling that I know exactly why you just did that, right? I have a strange feeling that I know exactly why Sanchez just tipped $14. The strange feeling is because he wanted to take us to 69. Yep, I was right. I was right. Hey, give a shout out in chat to Sanchez, man. I appreciate you, dude. I appreciate you. Taking us to 69 today. I knew I had a strange feeling there. Do what you want to do, Mint, right? Do what you want to do. And you might fire back and say, "Well, I don't know what I want to do." Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You do. You might say, "But I don't know what I want to do." And I say, "Yes, you do. Yes, you do." You know at the end of the day what you're doing out of anxiety to try to make anxiety comfortable, and what you're doing because you want to do it, right? You know at the end of the day. And I know sometimes that can seem a bit cloudy, right? But keep practicing the accepting attitude, and the live your life part, right? The live your life part, you know what you want to do at the end of the day. It might get even cloudier for you if you try to get up in your head and say, "Oh, well, am I doing this for this reason or that reason?" No, just naturally let the day go as the day wants to go. Do what you want to do, right? Don't get too obsessed about, am I doing this for this or that or that. It's good to have some self-reflection. No one can deny that, right? But at the end of the day, you're going to know what you want to do as opposed to what you're doing to try to comfort yourself over the anxiety, right? And when you get up in your head, right? When you get up in your head trying to figure it out, it just gets cloudier. It just gets even cloudier. What kind of ad is this? We just let that whole ad play on accident. It just gets even cloudier when you try to figure out every little detail. So first and foremost, work on the accepting attitude, right? Work on the accepting attitude. Secondly, let the day kind of go naturally. Just try to let the day kind of go naturally, right? When you get really obsessed with the two main keys, it just gets cloudier. Yeah, I mean, just from your comment alone expressing, you already know for yourself, overcame it for 7 straight years. I mean, you already know for yourself what works. You already know for yourself what works. You've probably gotten into some bad habits again, there's no doubt about that, but you've already experienced for yourself what works, right? 7 straight years, I mean, come on. You know for yourself. So yeah, you may have hit a point in your life where you let some bad habits kind of overrule you again. That's okay. You can get right back on track. It's not square one. You can turn this around rather quickly. Yes, exactly, Mint. Exactly. A thought comes without your say-so. That's a good way to put it, Arnold. A thought comes without your say-so. And every bit of thinking is like talking in your head. So a thought comes without your say so. Thinking is more of a conscious effort. It's like talking in your head, making a conscious effort to talk in your head. So it's not so much how do you learn to let go of your body, it's how do you learn to change your attitude. It's not so much how do you learn to let go of your body, it's how do you change your attitude towards what your body is doing. And that's what we call working on the accepting attitude, with what you tell yourself about these thoughts and feelings, right? Instead of getting involved with the debate with them, or the obsession, or the nasty second fear, what we call worry, it's not so much about how do you learn to let go of your body, it's how do you learn to work on the accepting attitude towards what your body and mind is doing, which comes down to what you tell yourself, right? Your attitude. I would say you're just way overthinking it, man. Which you're coming from a good place, right? You really are. You're coming from a good place. You're coming from a place of wanting to do the advice right. But I'm telling you, it's just going to be worse for you the more you obsess on the advice rather than get on with your day. So if you're feeling rather lazy and you want to sit on the couch and scroll your phone, do that. The obsession about that and the negative attitude, the non-accepting attitude, is going to be worse for you in the end than scrolling on your phone is. Do you see what I'm getting at with this? So yes, you are correct in the fact that we should live our life and we should work on the accepting attitude, but the obsession over it's going to be worse than whether you sit and scroll on your phone or not, right? So let's work on the accepting attitude. If you're feeling rather lazy and you want to scroll your phone, do that, but let's work on the accepting attitude in the meantime, okay? So you are right, we do need to live our life, right? But just pick something. Pick something, because the obsession about it is going to be worse. Oh, literally. Okay, you mean literally, literally holding on to body parts because you're scared of what is going to happen. So, sounds like just a bit of a nervous tick, a bit of a nervous coping method, right? So, first and foremost, like I said, work on the accepting attitude towards these feelings, and of course, the second main key is live your life. Um, and you might have these little obsessive kind of compulsive behaviors, right? You might have these little obsessive compulsive behaviors that you do. You'll notice that these start to drop off the more you work on the accepting attitude. Of course, Arnold, you're going to have a lot of these negative thoughts, especially when you're in a tired mind and body. Change your attitude towards them, right? Okay, I'm having these thoughts, okay, right? We don't have to get into a debate with them because that's a lot like fighting Muhammad Ali. You're not going to win that one, right? But if you give them a bunch of power by trying to fight with them, you just run in circle after circle. So we really empower these thoughts by our debate with them instead of having an accepting attitude and working on the accepting attitude. We run in circle after circle with these thoughts, just giving them so much power when we really need to work on that attitude towards them so that they can lose all this power. Yeah, each one would kind of give you something different. Very common. Very common. You've got the two main keys now. We have simplified it for you, expressing. From this day forward, you can take these very simple two keys, live your life, and work on that accepting attitude. Like I said, your mind might reject how simple that is, but you've got these very simple two main keys now. I recommend giving them a try, giving them a full-on try, right? And see what happens. Because really, all this anxiety state is just a continuous gassing of feelings and thoughts with our resistance towards them. We're just giving energy to what we don't want, and we are teaching the brain that there's a danger where there's not a danger by our involvement and resistance. So when you work on the accepting attitude and live your life, you're teaching the brain in the two ways that the brain learns. Hey, behaviors, they're living their life, right? They're living their life and they're having an accepting attitude. They're not gassing anything. There must not be a real danger. These thoughts must not be a real danger. And then slowly over time you start to rewire the brain. I think it can be, Olivia. I think it can be. And that was, that was really the whole point of today's stream, guys, is to make this very simple for you. Instead of obsessing over what recovery is or what it means to use recovery or be in recovery, we made it very simple for you today. Recovery comes down to your accepting attitude, because now you're removing fuel from the fire. With an accepting attitude and living your life comes proving to your brain that these things are not real dangers. So we take advantage of being anxious and we use that to our advantage to work on the accepting attitude, and bada bing, bada boom, before long, we have proven to the brain that there is no real danger, right? And we start to literally break down and destroy these fear pathways, these neurons in the brain, okay? Because we've removed fuel from the fire. We have lived our life and worked on the accepting attitude in the process, and these two things combined prove to the brain that the danger is not real. Right? These two things combined prove to the brain that the false alarms are false. So we take advantage of being anxious, we work on the accepting attitude and live our life. This proves to the brain that it can start deleting, literally deleting these old fear pathways. And that's why we wanted to make it as simple as possible today, because a lot of you, well, maybe not a lot of you, but some of you still kind of run in circles with how do I do this, how do I do that. Just work on the accepting attitude, take advantage of the anxiety, live your life, right? And you will start proving to the brain that you don't need this crap. Quite literally. Quite literally. Absolutely, Tony, I agree. Yep, you did see it for yourself. You did see it for yourself. Do you still smoke? Yes. What's up, Omar? That was a tasty Mountain Dew. So yes, the advice is very simple. You are triggered. You've got a false alarm going. Now you got to prove to the brain, is the false alarm needed or is it not needed? That's your job. How do you prove to the brain that the false alarm is not needed? By having an accepting attitude and living your life. Right? That's what it's all about. Can you talk about your recovery journey? I've got several videos that go into depth. I'm talking depth about my recovery journey if you'd like to check those out. If you've got any specific questions about it, I'll feel happy to answer those, but I would recommend those videos instead because we'll be here for a very long time. Just type in Wonderbro, or it might be Vacate Fear now, but I'm pretty sure you can type in either recovery story or journey, rather, and you'll find several videos where I go into some deep depth on that. I would recommend that rather, but if you have any specific questions about it, feel free to ask. The short of it is I knew about acceptance long before I started applying it. I still had a very much resistant attitude. I wasn't catching myself. I was still very resistant in my attitude, so it took me a while to actually use what I learned with acceptance. But once I got on board with that, there was plenty of ups and downs, just like everybody experiences. It was pretty straightforward, just like everybody goes through. And I didn't do anything different than what I tell you guys to do now. Get back into living your life. You're not necessarily going to feel like it. Take advantage of these false alarms. Change your attitude towards them. You're going to have ups and downs. Some days are going to be better than others. How do you mean, Wonderbro? Like, how do you find the My Story videos? Is that what you're asking? If that's what you're asking, just go to the search, type in Wonderbro Recovery Story or Vacate Fear Recovery Story. You'll find several videos on that. Oh, I absolutely believe in you, Express. The concept of loosen your body is basically the concept of acceptance, right? And you're talking about panic specifically. So when panic comes on, we do tend to kind of tense up, right? And you might not be able to loosen your body completely, which is understandable. So don't hold yourself to such high standards. But to the best of your ability, you can try to relax into the symptoms. Okay, you can become more aware of your body language, and that's basically what people mean by the whole loosen. What's up, Mike? I think I'm timed out because I don't think anyone is seeing my messages. I know they're done, but there was an important one in the last one. I can check for you. You might be. I don't see anything. I don't see that any of your messages have been held, Ghost. Oh yeah, before you know about acceptance, before you know what's going on, you might think all sorts of crazy things, Olivia. I know I did. Yeah, before you know about like what's going on with you and how this thing works, you'll think all sorts of crazy things might be happening. But I mean, that's of course because you don't know any better. Yes, very sorry for your loss. You are learning the skills to overcome this now, though. Yeah, the the countless amount of things that I used to think was wrong with me, Olivia. Countless amount of things. Which of course is all second fear thinking, but when you don't know and you don't have this information, of course you tend to jump to worst case scenarios. Were you afraid of people when you were sensitized? I was mostly just so self-obsessed that I didn't really care too much what was going on around me. But I mean, when you're sensitized, it's pretty fair to say that you're afraid of pretty much everything, and it's just because your nerves are on such a hair trigger. We're seeing some new faces in here that we haven't seen before. So because of that, I am going to drop the Discord link again. Oh, did I have a symptom? Personally, did I have a symptom that made me think I was dying? Some people jump straight to the "oh God, I'm gonna die" thing. Some people jump more to the "oh, mental kind of thing, mental kind of death. Oh, I'm gonna go crazy. I'm gonna go insane." That was more along the lines of what I went through, right? So some people jump to more of a worst case scenario of like a physical sort of problem. Some jump to a mental sort of problem. I used to tend to jump to the mental side of things. All the same concept though. All the same concept. It's a journey, guys. It's a journey. But if you work on this accepting attitude, it's going to take you further than you could have ever imagined. And it seems so simple. I know it seems so simple. But it does take work to work on the accepting attitude, because in the moment, you're going to be like, oh crap. You're going to be like, oh crap. But if you catch the oh crap and turn it into the accepting attitude, right? You're going to get further than you thought. This is what you need to work on to break out of this foot on the gas cycle. We know that worry equals anxiety. It's going to keep these nerves tired, so we need to work on the accepting attitude. The title of the stream says building the accepting attitude while living your life. These two things together teaches that brain, man. It teaches that brain. You got to work on it, though. You have to make the effort. You have to do it, especially in the heat of the moment. You can't just think about wanting to do it. You got to actually put forth the effort in the heat of the moment. And the results will come. The results will come. Hey, that's awesome, old mate. Will I stream over Christmas? I don't know. We'll see what happens. Maybe. Maybe. Yeah, there is a lot of labels that are floating around out there. Headaches are a common symptom with anxiety, so it is possible. Yeah, I don't really plan it. I just kind of have to see how things go. The accepting attitude, when you start to work on the accepting attitude, it kind of looks like this. Oh man, I'm feeling anxious today? Great. Great. I might not necessarily love it, but great, this is an opportunity. Oh, it can definitely make you more tired. Man, you're going through recovery. If you want to get technical, where does anxiety come from? It comes from the amygdala, which is a part of the brain that's responsible for the anxiety. And when the amygdala becomes tired, or when you've trained your brain to basically be fearful of pretty much everything with the way that you react to the anxiety, that amygdala, yeah, that's what sets off your anxiety. But you can retrain that amygdala. How? How, you may ask? The two main keys: the positive accepting attitude. You don't even have to use the word positive there. We can call it the accepting attitude and living your life. This is how you teach the amygdala there is no real danger. I do love seeing all the new faces. Your acceptance will only go out the window, Omar, until you continue practicing. One day that acceptance will not go out the window because you've practiced it so often. It's like building a new habit, right? You didn't learn how to ride a bike in 3 minutes. See what we're getting at? So your acceptance, I know you say the acceptance goes out the window, which is, it's common while you're in the learning process. Eventually that acceptance is going to stop going out the window as you start to practice more and more with that accepting attitude. It is a practice. That's why we got the word build in the title. That is exactly why we got the word build in the title. Are skipped beats common in anxiety? It is an anxiety symptom, yes. It is a practice, man. It is a practice. Hey, nothing official just yet, Olivia. Not just yet. Thank you, though. And for those of you who are new here, if this is your first time here, maybe it's just your first time commenting, welcome, welcome, welcome. Everyone here can relate with you. Everyone here is here to support you. You found a good place to be. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss those notifications. Let's see what we got those likes up to. Run those likes up, guys. Hit that like button. Well, the habitual thinking, as in what you add to the thoughts and feelings, is your attitude. It is something that you choose to indulge in. So the steps is you become aware of that, you change it to the accepting attitude, right? So you're not trying to change the thoughts and feelings because that's resistance, that's a fight. What you are trying to change is your attitude, which has a lot to do with what you tell yourself about the thoughts and feelings. So we're not saying that you should debate with the thoughts and feelings. Of course not. That's against acceptance. It's just fuel to the fire. What we are telling you is you change the attitude towards them, what you tell yourself about them. Keep it short, sweet, and simple. You don't have to obsess. keep that attitude change short, sweet, and simple. Yep, Furball's right. You said it yourself. It's habitual, as in it's a habit, which is what we're talking about today with the attitude change. So, first step is to notice it. Second step is to work on it with a conscious effort. A conscious effort. Conscious effort just simply means that you're willing to do the work. A conscious effort as in you're making the changes. And again, that doesn't mean fight with the thoughts and feelings. It means change your attitude towards them. Tony wants the wrench. Tony wants the wrench. You got it. Yeah, Tony in chat is healed. He had it rough there for a minute. He picked up the advice, used it, drove it home. Gotta put in the effort. I do appreciate that, Tony. No problem, dude. What's up, Craig? I was gonna say, I don't think you've ever changed that picture, Furball. It's my go-to for all accounts. Nice. Can't say I've ever really used the same picture for everything, but I've definitely used the same username. You got it, Kay. It's all about the accepting attitude. I'm gonna go shower and get ready for my day. Everyone, remember to follow the 2 main keys. You can recover once you change the mindset. Absolutely, you got it, Tony. Thanks for stopping by, dude. I appreciate it. Hey, we're happy to have you here, Kay. Honestly, the floor thing is better than the mattress mint. Now that I've done my experiments and my little tests, I have to say it's better. Which surprised me. It surprised me, but I was pretty shocked by that. Let's see. I'm gonna post that Discord link again. Do have a lot of new faces in here today. Don't want anyone to miss it. Basically, Ghost, my mattress absolutely sucks because it's like 100 years old. That's a bit exaggerated, but my mattress sucks. So I decided, you know what? Let's start sleeping on the floor. I've heard there's benefits to that. Like, why not? Let's try it. And so I've been doing that for the past 2 or 3 days, and honestly, it's better. I wouldn't have thought that, but honestly, it's better. Like, don't ask me how, but it is. I probably don't have any good advice for you, Furball, on that matter because I don't even know how to pronounce that word, so maybe somebody in chat does. Gotcha. Okay, I learned something today. See, I'm still learning things. Still don't have any advice, though, on that particular matter. But I imagine that's not fun. I love that, Kay. I've heard that saying before. I'm a fan. Yeah, that does not sound appealing at all. Furball. Not in the slightest. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you know what time it is. We're at an hour and a half. We went a little bit more than an hour today. I've had fun hanging out with you guys, man. We're going to go ahead and start to end it here, though. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Huge, huge, huge shout out to all of our tippers today. Thank you guys so much. Thank you all for watching. I love you guys. Thank you for everything. And until next time, as always, stay awesome.